Welcome everybody, I'm the Blonde Fox, and today we're going to be playing Final Fantasy XVI. I am super excited for this one. I'm a big fan of the Final Fantasy series, and I have been waiting for this one to come out. I'm going to preface this all by saying that I have played the demo already on my own personal save file, so that way we can still start from the beginning on this one. We won't transfer any saves over or anything. So I do know what happens in the prologue of the story, which I think is like the first 2 hours, I think they said. So it won't be my, what would you call it? I just totally drew a blank on the word. My, I don't really say genuine reaction because I mean I don't remember it word for word what happened, but basically it's not going to be like my first reaction. That's what I'm looking for. It won't be my first reaction to it. However, we will be playing through it. Of course, I'm going to show all that. So yeah, that's just prefacing with that. But everything after the prologue, I have not seen, I have not experienced, I have no clue what's going on. So I'm very excited to get to that because the story, at least in the prologue so far, is so good. I'm very excited for him. And I also put a disclaimer at the beginning of this video, and it will be at the beginning of every video. This game is rated M. I know I've done M-rated games on the channel before. However, after playing the demo for this one, and at least what was shown in the prologue, this one is a pretty intense M rating, so I just thought it might be just good for people to know that it's just like it's got a lot of language in it. It's rather violent. It has quite a bit of I guess you would say sexual theming. There was some stuff in the demo that was just a little risque. It didn't really bother me or anything, but it's just something that I want people to be aware of. So I just thought, since a lot of my other videos, especially more recently, like with Crash Bandicoot, Spyro and stuff, I thought it might be good to kind of put a disclaimer like, hey, this might not be the most kid-friendly game, so just be aware. Even though I don't put my videos as kid-friendly anyways, but better safe than sorry, just so pre-warning. But yeah, so if you notice that new thing, that's only going to be for this series as of right now, just because, again, this one, it's also the first M-rated Final Fantasy, which I was kind of surprised whenever I saw that. I was like, okay, I was reading like what all the rating was for and everything. I was like, oh my gosh, this got like, it's way, you know, the difference between the T-rated Final Fantasy 15 and the M-rated this, it's like, okay, big difference. But anyways, I could ramble on and on forever, but I think that covers just about everything. I'm very excited for this. I hope you guys are excited to watch it. Like I said, I don't know too much about it besides what was in the demo. Yeah, so without further ado, let's get right to it. Remember to like the video if you like it and subscribe for me some more. But yeah, we're going to do new game. I already did all the configuration, so I don't think it's going to make me do that again. I think I should just start right in. No, it's going to make me do it again. Okay, all that's the same. Yeah, I'm pretty much leaving a lot of this to default. We're going action focused, so we're not going story mode, which is going to be more like your easy mode, where it's more so for people who just want to enjoy the story. We're going action focused because I really like the combat in this. It's very reminiscent of like Devil May Cry mixed with like a Kingdom Hearts kind of, but not really, but I like the combat. I think it's because I believe the director, not the director, both might have been the combat director. I'm not good with like that kind of stuff, but the person who worked on the combat or made the combat or whatever, designed it, is the same person who did, I believe, Devil May Cry and Dragon's Dogma, and Dragon's Dogma is one of my all-time favorite games, so I really like the combat. So we're going to go action-focused because I want to play the combat, because I like the combat. I want a nice, somewhat challenging combat, but not like too hard. But yeah, I think that's all good, so let's get right into the story.
It was Moss the Chronicler who said that the land of Valisthea is blessed in the light of the Mother Crystals, and that it was this light which finally led our forebears out of the darkness. Yet, what they saw in the light gave rise to temptation. Temptation that ever lures us back into the crystal shadow. And thus did our journey begin.
I forgot for a second that this opened right up into combat. It wasn't until I started seeing the cutscene I was like, wait a minute, I think this is a combat sequence right off the bat, right? It's really cool with the open where it has like, it gives you a little bit of backstory, but it's mainly just kind of, you know, it's like, ooh, right into the battle, right into like crazy intense stuff. Okay, there we go. Yeah, get my timing down. I got used to the slight bit of delay that's with my recording stuff. But this is so epic. Oh, and it's gorgeous. This game is just beautiful and smooth, and I have it set to graphics as my setting, as you saw whenever I was setting up the setting. So I'm thinking that so if it seems a little framey or whatnot, it is because I do have it set to be more graphics, like make the graphics prettier over the combat smoothness, I think, but it should still look great. It'll just be, I think, more of a me playing feel, because I also, whenever I edit these and everything, I try to render them out at like 60 FPS kind of thing, so I don't think you guys will notice much of a difference. Okay. Is that supposed to be Ifrit, right? I think, right? Ooh, right into a cutscene. That was a nice transition.
It'll be light soon. Both camps have begun to stir.
You all know the target. Shiva's dominant. And only the dominant.
No one else? Where's the fun in that? How do we even know the girl will be among them?
Our kind do not question orders. We follow them. Try to keep that in mind.
Let's get this done.
Focus, Wyvern. You are key to this mission's success.
Yes, Sergeant.
Yeah, what I was saying was, in that opening cutscene, I know that I know who Phoenix is, but the other one, I can never remember if it's like Ifrit or is it I want to say Bahamut, but I don't think it's Bahamut or Behemoth, or I'm not sure. Like I said, I played quite a few Final Fantasy games before, but I'm not like super certain what all of the, whatever you want to call them, the Eidolons, the summons, the whatever you want to call them are. Because there are different names in every game. Because I know there were Eidolons in Final Fantasy 13. I know there's summons in 10. I'm not sure what they were called. What were they called again in 15? I can't even remember now. But yeah, we can pause at any time outside a cutscene to open the main menu. Gameplay configurations, blah blah blah, can all be adjusted. So it's telling us we can open the pause menu. Yep. System tab, yep, we already know all this. This is basic information. Cool, cool, cool. Additional content can be redeemed from the system tab in the main menu upon completing a chance encounter in the main scenario. Oh, I did pre-order the game, so I do actually have some content. So is it saying? So it's saying that can be claimed from one of these. I think it's at the out of here or something. It says somewhere, but basically after the chance encounter missions. I wonder if that's what this mission is. What is the touchpad? That's right. Okay, this is a pretty cool feature. I like this feature. At first I was kind of annoyed by it. I was like, okay, great. So you get your lore. I'll read it and then I'll explain it. But so you hold the touchpad and it gives you access to the active time lore, or ATL feature, a compilation of important information relevant to Clive's current storyline progression. ATL can even be viewed during most cutscenes. All ATL entries can be accessed later in the game. So they add a lore thing later in the game, but I was like, okay, but great, you have to interrupt cutscenes for this. But it's so cool because let's say a character mentions, oh, you know, they mentioned the name, well, okay, the easy example. So they mentioned the name Clive. It's just like, well, who the heck is Clive? if you open this up during the cutscene, because they just mentioned the word Clive, it'll actually have the like some information about who Clive is, or some backstory or relevant information, and I think that's so cool. So it does it like for locations and other stuff. So as you can see here, probably should have just done this. So we know for this one, it says a unit of trained assassins deployed to the Nysa Defile deep within Dalmekian territory and tasked with the elimination of an enemy dominant. So we basically know that that's what our group is that we're with right now. We saw the brand, and we saw that Clive had touched his face whenever they said that people like us. So what is this saying? The mark applied to the cheeks of bearers, identifying them as something other than human. Great nations of Alastia have a long-standing accord to brand their bearers in this way that the slaves might be traded across borders. So the brand marks those who are slaves. Okay, that's good to know. And the Nysa, I'm not sure how to say that, they'll probably say it at some point, but a deep arid valley located in the eastern part of the Dalmekian Republic. During the Battle of the Twin Realms in 865, it was the site of repeated skirmishes as the Iron Kingdom attempted to make incursions into Dalmekian territory. So this is a cool little feature. I actually really like this. At first, like I said, I was kind of annoyed with it because I'm like, I don't want to interrupt my cutscenes, but it's really cool. So I am going to be interrupting cutscenes with that, but it's so that we can get full lore for everything. So I'll try not to be too annoying with it, but sometimes it's hard to know when's a good time to pull it up because the information does change as a cutscene progresses. So like I said, I'll try not to get too annoying with it, but yeah, let me know down in the comments too if you'd rather I just wait and like just ignore the lore stuff, or if you like me pulling up during cutscenes.
This is go.
Okay, so we got some information here of what's going on. Again, I'll probably for the first couple of episodes I do quite a bit of this, but let me know down in the comments if you'd rather I just completely ignore this stuff and you'd rather not get the lore information, or if you are okay with me pulling this up as new information comes up. Because I know it's going to kind of interrupt the flow a bit, but also I find a lot of this stuff fascinating, but if you guys don't, I am totally okay with that. Because after I finish this Let's Play, or at least get, you know, way ahead, I'm probably going to do my own playthrough, so it doesn't bother me too much either way. The Iron Crusade. The fighting forces of the Iron Kingdom. Ultimate command rests with the king, who issues orders directly to the commanders of each of his battalions. Ironblood soldiers generally prefer heavy clubs and great axes over swords and other lighter weapons. This rather brutal approach is indicative of their overall attitude, which has earned them a reputation on the continent as savage, if somewhat primitive warriors. Okay, that's interesting. So that's probably who they're calling the Ironbloods, is my guess. I like that too, that it says that that's our current location. That's cool. The Men of the Fist. So this is the other side, the ones that were using the magic and everything. Dalmekia's standing army. While officially an organ of the Republic, each of its 5 states is granted relative autonomy with regard to the management of its troops. Aside from certain specialized squads, battle deployments are mostly comprised of small units employing a mixture of foot soldiers and battle mages. The former are known and feared for their curved swords and prodigious axes, and the deadly skill with which they wield them. Interesting. Okay.
They won't need this new dominant of theirs. What?
To the gates! Quickly! Move!
What do you mean, you refuse? Did you not pledge your swords to our cause?
Come now. Marshal, the King of Waloed is our guest.
And you have His Majesty's answer.
Ooh, okay, lots of new information. Okay, so we got Fort Zernitra, a stronghold situated at the western end of Nysa File in the Dominican Republic. In the year 873, it served as the site of a meeting of convened, wow, words, by the Dalmatians with their Waluder allies in an attempt to enlist their aid in driving back the Ironblood, who had been a thorn in their side since the Battle of the Twin Realms 8 years before. Okay, I'm hoping more of this will make sense later on, because so far I'm just getting very confused with all the lore, actually. The Kingdom of Waloed. Okay, so that's who the one guy was who just looked annoyed to be there. The sole surviving nation in Ash, Waloed has its capital in Stonehere, home of the Mother Crystal of Drake's Spine. A warlike land, its considerable military might serve... Wait, oh, its considerable military might serves to keep neighboring countries at bay. I thought it was saying, yeah, never mind. While Waloed does maintain a notional alliance with the Dominican Republic in Southern Storm, it is very much a marriage of convenience. So that's why he seemed annoyed, is because basically, yeah, they're doing the alliance mainly just because it's convenient, not because they actually want to help anyone. Okay, good to know. In the Dominican Republic, a nation formed as a federation of 5 smaller states. It is located in the southern half of the continent of Storm and has its capital in Rondella, I don't know how to say that. It is also home to the Mother Crystal known as Drake's Fang. There is no official state religion, and citizens are free to worship as they please. Dalmatia's key political entity in the parliament, which is formed of ministers representing each of the states, with the prime minister at its head. Okay, so it's like, kind of like, that's why it's a republic, because basically it's a gathering of all the different states and everything. Okay, moving on.
I wonder that you summoned us at all. Have you so little faith in your own men? It was the Dalmex who drove back the Crusaders in the Battle of the Twin Realms, was it not? Or am I mistaken? Besides, your dominant has yet to take the field. And when he does, our knights would only get in the way.
Perhaps you have not heard, but the Ironblood now have their own dominant. We would be fools to underestimate them.
Bugger their knights.
What did you say?
Should this citadel be allowed to fall, the capital will lie exposed.
Okay, I thought so. I was like, are they going to explain what a dominant exactly is, or... Okay. So a dominant, those within whom sleeps the power of an Eikon. Though they look and think no differently to any other man or woman, they can not only cast elemental magics without a crystal... I was wondering about that, because I was like, okay... We saw that one of the branded guys was able to use magic without a crystal. But then at the table, they showed him pouring water into a glass using a crystal. But then the woman didn't use a crystal, but she's not branded. So she's probably a dominant too, is what I'm guessing. Unless there's like a third party, like that's not known yet. Maybe that wasn't magic she was using. No, because she had like the blue light coming out of her. I don't know. But anyways, they can not only cast element magics without a crystal, but also transforms themselves into beast of world-shattering strength at any moment, a quality for which they're honored, worshipped, and feared the realm over. So the Eikons, that's probably what like the Phoenix is, and if that was Ifrit or Bahamut or Behemoth, I'm not sure on that. We'll probably learn more on those later. But okay, so that's good to know. In the Battle of the Twin Realms. Battle of the Twin Realms was a conflict fought between the Holy Empire of Sanbrek and the Kingdom of Waloed in the year 865. Sanbrequois forces? I think that's how you say it. Sanbrequois forces with the power of the icon Bahamut. Okay, so Bahamut... Okay, which I cannot remember... And the problem is, too, they're all redesigned, like, really well in this. They look so cool in this. All of the icons, summons, whatever they were called in the past, too. But they look so cool in this, but I don't know... Okay, what does Bahamut look like in this? But anyways, they have Bahamut on their side, took the Strait of Otha back from Waloed, putting an end to the blockade that had lasted several decades. The Waloeders looked to hold back the Sanbrequois advance by any means necessary, from alliance with the Dalmatian Republic, who themselves were waging war against the Iron Kingdom on the Western Front and prevented the Empire from progressing any further. Isn't Bahamut supposed to be like one of the like most powerful ones, I think? At least that's what it was in past Final Fantasies, I think. Again, I might be wrong on that.
And I doubt the Crusaders will wait for the good king's pawns to line up before taking to the board. Which just leaves me.
Hopka!
The Ironblood will rue the day they set foot on Storm.
Okay, sorry, I just didn't know if they were going to give us more information because he said his name, but nope. Okay, sorry to interrupt. Back to the story.
This game is over.
You cock.
Benedicta.
Take care.
Does the lion take care when he chases the hare? Or do you think me one of the latter?
No, my love. You are a lion. You're my lion.
I'm not afraid of a little frost, Benedicta. But I will need someone to warm me when I come home.
The front lines are gone. This is our chance. The chaos will conceal us.
Okay, I'm hoping I'll get better at being able to tell whenever we're supposed to open this and not. Because like I said, so far I'm not very good at it. Because it's like, I'm not sure when it's like, if it's only whenever it's mentioned, like the first time it's mentioned, or if it's like after it's read it multiple times. Or I also know there's points in the cutscenes and stuff that it's like, they won't even let you open the menu. It'll have like a blocked symbol saying, no, you can't open that during this like cutscene because it's like a special cutscene or something like that. So I'll hopefully be able to learn that a little bit better. Because it's going to get annoying me having to open every, like, 2 minutes being like, is this, like, something we could learn about? It's good, too, for refresher courses, because I tend to forget a lot of this stuff.
As always. Take the van.
Wait. Something's not right.
Titan. So the Darmaks finally grew tired of being slaughtered.
Ha! And look who's here to greet the bastard.
Come on.
don't get to die here, Wyvern. Move!
Okay, that was totally freaking epic. Whoa, okay, this is scary. I love Shiva. She was one of my favorites, like from the other games and everything. I love her design in this one. It's just awesome. I think Shiva and... Man, I really like Phoenix too. Ramu's pretty cool, but I mean, Titan's pretty cool too, but... Ooh, okay. Where am I going? Where am I going? He's not having a good time. Oh, I can't go up that way. Well, sorry. Thought that's the way I was supposed to go. You took the low path, I take the high path. Oh, I didn't even think. Could I open this up? Did it have any? Yes, it does have information on them. Sweet. Okay. Shiva, the Warden of Ice, whose appearance on the battlefield makes her enemy's blood run cold. The Iron Blood sent Shiva against the Republican forces in the Nysa Defile, where she dueled against Titan, the Icon of Earth. I just love her design in this. It's so pretty. The Warden of Earth, of whom Hugo Kupka? They just said his name too. Kupka? I can't even remember how they said his name anymore. Anyways, is the current dominant. He takes the form of a stone-skinned giant whose granite fists shake the earth with every mighty pummel. Titan's dominant awakens among the people of the Dominican deserts, the recipient of his strength being granted great power and status by the Republic in return for a commitment to protect the nation in times of war. So I wonder if it's like if they die. I love how he's classified under bestiary. That's pretty funny, actually. So I wonder if like whenever the dominant dies, does it go to a new one, or if it's like a reincarnation thing, kind of like, you know, like an Avatar or something like that, to where it's just like, you know, Avatar: The Last Airbender, where basically whenever he dies, it's immediately born into like the next in the cycle. Or I'm curious how it works, like how the dominant gets passed on, or if it gets passed. Well, no, because I said it was always born into him, so it makes me wonder. Or is it like over time kind of thing? Interesting.
Who's gonna stand there?
Wyvern! Wyvern! I told you before, you do not get to die here.
Clive!
Do you yield? Well, if you're not cut out to be a shield, there's always work for you in the stables. Unless, of course, you think you can defend your master while sat on your arse in a puddle of pig swill.
I'm sure he'd find a way. My brother always looks after me. Right?
Go on. You're sure to hit him eventually.
Don't give up now.
Okay, that's all the information we get is Rosalith Castle. Situated at the heart of the ducal capital of Rosalith, it is from this towering ivory fortress that the Archduke and his family rule their nation, an architectural feat the founder himself would be proud of. The castle has stood since the early days of the duchy and watched over the rise of this proud nation and the people who inhabit the city beneath. Okay.
2 arms. It wouldn't do to disappoint the gallery.
start again from the beginning.
Okay. Tutorial time. On that note, guys, however, we are going to end this episode here. I'm sorry, but we are already pushing the episode a bit, and as much as I'd love to keep going, I think it's about time we end off and get ready to start the next episode. So, a little bit of a recap. That was intense. A sliding down scene and everything, and then the rock crushing that guy, and then the blood splattering on the back of Clive's neck. That was like, whoa. We also, the puppy, adorable. And I love that back in time, and it said we went 13 years back in time. So depending on how old Clive is here, we add that to how the 13 years and everything, so we'll know how old he was in the other scene and everything. So a lot of interesting stuff going on, a lot of stuff to keep track of. Like I said, let me know down in the comments how you guys feel about me stopping the middle cutscenes, or if you'd rather I just ignore the lore completely and we just try to piece stuff together as it goes, and we might have to read the lore at a later date. Because like I said, I don't mind that system, but I also know I'm not always going to know when I should and shouldn't pause it, and it's going to interrupt a lot of the cutscenes. I try to interrupt it at a moment where the characters themselves pause in their dialogue, so I'm not like interrupting in the middle of someone talking. But just let me know how you feel about that. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. If you liked the video, remember to like it. Comment down below with your thoughts and opinions. I look forward to hearing from you guys. And remember to subscribe if you want to see more from me in the future. Until next time, see ya!